One of the most common questions that I get from over 7 million English students here on YouTube is this: Vanessa, how can I understand English movies and TV shows without subtitles? That's a great question, and today I'm going to give you an answer. If you're new here, hi, I'm Vanessa from speakenglishwithvanessa.com, and over the last 10 years, I have been teaching you real life English that real people use in daily life. And today we're going to answer this common question, and you're going to get to practice it yourself. But before we do, I would like to let you know that, as always, I have created a free PDF worksheet with all of today's important concepts, vocabulary, ideas, and tips to help you finally understand real-life conversations. Plus, there is a little bonus within this PDF worksheet. There is a bonus conversation. Yes, a hidden conversation that you can only access with a link inside the PDF worksheet. So, how can you get this PDF worksheet plus bonus conversation lesson? All you have to do is click on the link in the description, enter your name and email address, and voila, just like that, the worksheet plus bonus conversation lesson will land in your email inbox. And do you want to know something pretty cool? You never need to sign up for my free worksheets ever again. You just sign up one time and I will continue to send them to you every single week. That is my gift to you. So don't wait, click on the link in the description to get today's free PDF worksheet, plus you can unlock the bonus conversation lesson. So what's the answer? How can you understand movies and TV shows without subtitles in English? Well, you can probably understand me when I speak, right? I get a lot of comments saying, Vanessa, I can understand you. Why can't I understand movies in English? There's a reason for that. I'll give you a couple reasons. The first one is I'm an English teacher, so I speak pretty clearly, right? The second reason is it's just me speaking, teaching you this English lesson. There is not a conversation and multiple people. The more people you add, the more complicated it gets to understand. So how can you move beyond this level? You're understanding my voice in this lesson, but you want to understand movies and TV shows where there's multiple people speaking, sometimes at the same time. Well, we need to take some baby steps. The first step beyond understanding me is understanding a conversation with me plus one other person. Ideally, someone who's not extremely complicated to understand. We're talking baby steps here. So today, I would like to introduce you to two of the most popular lessons that I made in the year 2025, and they were conversations featuring my husband, Dan. In these conversations, you're going to hear my voice, which you can already understand, and we're simply adding one more person. Dan also speaks relatively clearly. I think he speaks quickly sometimes. He has different vocabulary than I do, so it's going to challenge you a little bit more. And the more you listen to these types of easy listening conversations, the better it will be, so that when you finally watch movies and TV shows, it will be easier for you to do that without subtitles. So without further ado, let's get started with the first conversation lesson. In this lesson, Dan and I will be answering some questions that you submitted, and we're just going to simply answer them off the cuff. Off the cuff means without planning or preparation. This is the best type of conversation, in my opinion. All right, let's watch. Okay, Dan, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's get started with our first question that was submitted, in fact, by one of my Fearless Fluency Club students. The first few questions have been submitted by my course students, and the bonus conversation questions have been submitted by you on YouTube. So maybe those bonus questions were yours. All right, let's get started with our first question. Conversation question number one was submitted by my lovely student, Sergey. Sergey asked us, how often do you go to the grocery store and how do you get there? He asked if we use public transportation or just a car. Thanks in advance. All right, Dan, how often do we go to the grocery store and how do we get there?
I would say we probably go maybe twice a week.
Oh, you think that often?
Well, once a week for the big shop, and then there's sometimes a little shop peppered in there.
Okay.
I don't go to the grocery store very often anymore because I'm at work, kind of far away from all the grocery store action, and you're a lot closer to the action.
Yeah.
The action of the grocery store.
So much action.
It's a lot of fun, especially taking a toddler into the grocery store.
Oh, so fun.
It's a lot
Actually,
of
it is
fun.
really, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I
You get a
usually
lot of-
go once a week. Take a big shop, get a big shop, have a list, know what we're cooking that week, buy a bunch of stuff. And then I usually forget something or we realize, oh, we have some like fresh stuff that we need that wasn't available at that store. So we have to go somewhere else and we might go another time somewhere
We run
else.
out of milk usually.
Yeah,
Or
we
something.
do run out of
some
milk.
kind of some product we run out of. So we actually live close enough to a grocery store where technically we could walk there.
Oh, it
if we
would
were
be
really
pretty
ambitious.
torturous to walk there though.
Well, to bring back the groceries wouldn't be fun.
That's it.
We could bike there, but the infrastructure in America is not great for biking, so it would be kind of annoying. You'd be sharing the road
It'd be
with a lot
dangerous.
of cars. Yeah.
It'd probably take 30 minutes to get there. And if we drove in a car, it takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're 5 minutes away in a car, so we just drive
Yeah.
there.
And you can't take kids when you bike, at least our young kids. So you have to find, it has to be a time when you're with the kids. I'm going to bike to the store, 30 minutes to bike there, do the shop, 30 minutes back. It's just not convenient.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the US.
It's on my bucket list to bike there someday because I know it's close enough. But yeah, with all the kids and all the action going on here,
Yeah.
it's we're busy, so we usually just drive.
Yeah.
But that's not our main grocery store. We like a grocery store called Trader Joe's, and it's kind of like
I
our
feel like I've
favorite
mentioned Trader
place
Joe's so
ever.
much.
Yeah, they've mastered the art of the grocery store experience.
Yeah,
and
if
so
you
that's
visit
where we
the
mainly shop.
US, yeah, if you visit the US, I recommend going into Trader Joe's, just buying a few things because people there are so nice. And if you want to have just like a spontaneous conversation with someone, that's a great way because they'll usually say like, oh, how are you doing? Are you doing anything interesting this afternoon? Oh, have you ever tried this before? Where are you from? Like they'll generally strike up a conversation, and that's part of the marketing.
Yeah.
And it works. I love going there
They got
because
good vibes.
people
They all
are
wear
nice.
shirts like this. They're really happy.
Hawaiian shirts is what we call that. All right, let's move on to our next question. So in this conversation lesson, we are going from light question, like how often do you go to the grocery store, to serious question.
Oh, goodness.
Then back to light question. So the
goodness.
next one is a little more serious.
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Carmen, Masako, Dongrim, and Tracy all asked variations of this question. How do you do it all? Kids, business, work, house, food, chickens. How do you do it all?
They didn't even add the chickens, did they? Or did they?
No. A very good question, I feel like, here. The way that Tracy worded it is, Vanessa, you are so busy. I believe your daily life is quite hectic. You must care for 3 children, film lessons, prepare lesson plans, among other things. I am just curious if you have time for yourself. Dongrim said, do you often do overtime? You run your business. I think it must be inevitable. Masako said, you have numerous roles and responsibilities. What's your highest priority? Carmen said, how many times a week can you carve out spare time for yourself? Thanks a lot, dear teacher. So this is all asking, basically, how can you do so many things and maintain your sanity? That is a really good question.
Well,
I don't know. How do we?
may I answer this first?
Yeah, what do you think? I need some
I would say
wisdom.
we don't do it all. Yeah, we can't do it all, right?
Yeah.
So we have to pick and choose a lot of things. I know for me personally, I've had a lot of hobbies in the past that I've just had to like cut out of my life, especially the ones that are like non-essential. Like, for example, I used to play video games. I just have a 0 video game policy now because it doesn't contribute anything to the family. And I could sit here and be a sourpuss about it, but overall, I'm a lot happier now, contributing in a different way than just, having that as a hobby just for myself.
Yeah.
So you got to be a lot more selfless in the position we've put ourselves in, especially because we've added not 1, not 2, but 3 children to the mix.
Yep.
So
It is hectic. That's a good word for it.
it's hectic. So yeah, it helps a lot if you have a good relationship and have good communication and can share a lot of stuff. So in the past, I actually didn't work a regular job at all. So I did a lot of childcare and a lot of household stuff.
Yeah, you worked for my business
And I worked for your business as well. And so, yeah, I didn't have a job outside the home, I should say. And I would say that that took a lot of the load off of you at the time, and you were a lot busier back then.
Yeah.
But then we went through like a huge transition phase where we basically organized a lot of our life to be able for me to work outside the home and for you to have less work, and you hire more people now to do some of the stuff. So that's my answer. So there's a lot of strategy that goes on behind the scenes, and you have to share stuff really well, and you have to make sacrifices in your own life.
That's some really good wisdom. Yeah.
That's the gist of it.
Yeah, I hope you guys cannot just hear the lawnmower that just started beside us. I wanted you to hear the beautiful bird sounds because there's so many wonderful birds. But talking about...
It's America. This lawnmower's got to go right now.
Talking about like not doing it just ourselves, Speak English with Vanessa has a wonderful team of people. So for example, David will help to edit this audio so that that lawnmower is not so loud. If that were up to me, the audio would just have the lawnmower really loud and I couldn't do anything about it. But because the business is capable of hiring people to do various jobs, I don't have to do everything. That would not be possible with 3 kids. And I'm not the best at everything. I feel like Kevin edits these videos. David helps with the sound, especially if there's other things going on.
I used to edit the videos.
Not for YouTube, though.
Oh, yeah.
You did for the courses.
That's true.
Yeah. And like Elsa helps with emails and Amber helps with some lessons. Like there's so many things going on that I'm not doing myself. I'm helping to manage that, but you have to depend on other people. Like that is essential. And sometimes that's not what you see. Like you just see the final product, whether it's, oh, we have homemade dinners for our family every night. A lot of work goes into organizing how can we have a homemade dinner for our family every night? Or how do I run this business? Well, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you never see. Like Dan just made our dinner for tonight. It's 1 p.m. Dan made our dinner. He organized what it is. Like that's the behind the scenes stuff that it takes a lot of work and organization, but it really helps things be smoother. I would say for me, the one mindset tip that helps me lessen the hecticness of my life, it doesn't always work, so take it with a grain of salt, but it is when I'm doing something, I try to be in that 100%. So if I'm gardening with my kids, I'm not thinking about YouTube videos. If I'm sitting in the office coming up with new YouTube video ideas, I'm not thinking about what's for dinner that night. I really try to focus. And I think that's especially valuable with my family. When I'm going for a walk, I'm trying to just take a break. Don't feel like I need to be productive at every moment doing all these things, because goodness knows when you multitask, you're usually less productive, right? At least I am. So I try to just, sit in the sandbox and play with my kids and not check my emails and think about some work thing or think about something else going on. Just try to be 100% in the activity I'm currently doing. I don't do this perfectly, but it's kind of like my goal. It's what I strive to do. And I feel like it's kind of a good centering. So when I feel hectic and I look back at the day, I think usually, oh, my brain was all over the place. There were like 500 things going on and I couldn't focus on one of them. And sometimes that just happens. Like you got 3 kids, they're all crying. You got to make dinner. Oh no, I have to answer this email. Like sometimes that happens. But when I get the chance to just be calm in a moment, going for a walk with the kids, planting stuff in the garden, those types of things, I try to just embrace it.
Embrace the moment.
Yeah.
May I add something here too?
Okay.
So this is a little bit different, but I think it really helps to have the space to do this stuff. If you have a kind of career in place where you have a little bit of flexibility, So a lot of people don't have this in their life. You know, you work 9 to 5 and you may, you know, have a little break here or there, but you're just stuck in this very structured system, and maybe even have to work overtime. We're very fortunate because even though you work a lot, it is structured in a way that you can build your own schedule. So that is very helpful, and I think it's kind of a privilege we have.
Yeah.
But, you know, I kind of hope it's the direction the world goes in a way. Like, in a lot of jobs, you don't have to be in a place 9 to 5, and
people are starting to work from home more, and you know, they can eat in their kitchen for their lunchtime instead of, you know, I think the world is wanting more flexibility, especially the next generation. I hear that a lot, that like the next generation is not putting up with corporate America.
Yeah.
Like they want more flexibility, and I'm very curious what the future holds.
Yeah.
But let's go
There's
on
some give and take there, but you know.
Yeah, we'll see. I know
this is a
culture's
can of
different.
worms, apparently, this question. So.
All right, let's go on to the next question. Well, lots of people ask that, so I think it's important to dive into it for a while. The next one's kind of connected. Eleonora asks, do you do yoga? But she added on to that, in order to balance yourself. Thank you, teacher Vanessa. So this is kind of also talking about self-care. I wanted to talk about exercise and yoga. First of all, do you do yoga, Dan?
No, I tried doing yoga for a while. We did it together when we lived in South Korea.
Yeah.
And that was like the longest stretch we did it. And it's just not really for me. I like the vibes of it, but I am 0% flexible. So it's just, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
But
I like doing yoga, but I don't have the life right now. So this is also kind of the mindset stuff. I don't have the life right now where I can go to a yoga class. I would love to go to a yoga class twice a week, but I'm choosing to take care of my daughter all day, and I work when she naps. So I could hire someone to come take care of her so I can go to a yoga class. That's possible. We have the money to be able to do that. But that's a lot of coordination and figuring out and organizing. And I'm choosing right now not to do that, and choosing to do other types of exercise that fit with what I'm capable of, because I would feel like that's just adding too much to my life right now. But once she's older and she's in school, absolutely. I would love to go to an in-person class twice a week or something like that. I like the people who do yoga. There's a yoga studio near us that's called Asheville Community Yoga, and it's a nonprofit, which means all the teachers are volunteers. That it blows my mind, because some teachers teach there like every day and they're just doing it out of the goodness of their heart, and it's so cool. I love that type of giving atmosphere. But I would go there twice a week or so, and I'm realizing this time in my life is just limited.
A season, one might say.
It's a season. Yeah, that's what we say. So like in 2 years, sure, I can do that. And that's fine. And right now for exercise, we have the perfect scenario.
Fortune has landed upon our laps.
Yes, in multiple ways, because our new neighbors, she is a personal trainer. She is so nice. She's wonderful. If you're in the Fearless Fluency Club, you know her. Her name is Lindsay. You met her back in February.
She's got us pumping iron.
And I go over there, and Dan goes over there separately, because we have to watch the kids.
You can tell, right?
Yeah. Twice a week, and we lift weights. And this is something I would not do on my own. I don't know how to do that on my own. I have some more skills now. I've been doing it for 9 months or so. But it's a social thing. I get to talk to Lindsay. I like her. I like talking with her. She knows more about lifting weights, and she knows how I can do it in a healthy way without hurting myself. And all of that and it's across the street from our house. So I can just walk across the street. Dan comes home from work. I say bye. I walk across the street. He watches the kids. And the next day he does that. He comes home. I'm with the kids. He gets changed and goes and works out.
Yeah.
And there's not an awful lot of friction. I think that's the thing with working out for a lot of people, for me, that
getting there.
It's hard to go from not working out, to having a habit of exercising. If you don't have that habit, it's hard to get that ball rolling, as they say. So I feel like this is the perfect scenario for us, that we have someone across the street who can give us accountability and can do that for us, like can help us. I just show up. I don't need to think. She shows me what to do. She makes the plan. It's so lovely. What about you?
I'll add a bit to this as well. So
Okay.
I work out with Lindsay as well. And so that's like a really good like mind-body connection activity to kind of get your body engaged in a way that we normally aren't, because we do a lot of stuff unconsciously without thinking about our bodies.
Yeah.
And obviously, like I do a lot of yard work and I just pick up stuff the wrong way. And so this is kind of relearning that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But going back to yoga, the nice thing about yoga is it's like a lot to do with like mindfulness and breathing and stuff. And her stuff is less like that. So we are also trying to do some meditation activities. We're not very consistent with this, but us in particular, and maybe Americans in general, are very, very go, go, go. Not much slowing down, one thing to another kind of activities or lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so we are trying our best to add some of this mindfulness, meditation, slowing down moments or activities, or even just like noticing for 5 minutes, checking in with your breathing and how you're feeling and stuff like that. Even though it's not necessarily physical like yoga, it's still kind of like a noticing your body and your breathing type of activities.
It's about keeping yourself balanced, like Eleanor said.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have something called stillness practice that we've tried to do with our kids. So before they go to bed, we sit on the couch and we have it's like meditation music, just soft music. And we light a candle and we all sit there quietly and stare into the flame. And when the song is done, it's about 5 minutes. Then we get up, and ideally the kids would feel relaxed and calm and be able to go to bed. Doesn't always work. But for that 5 minutes, I have seen the kids, and I think we have too, but I've noticed it in them, take deeper breaths and kind of just release that tension, even if it's like for 2 minutes of the 5 minutes, just, and
or 5 seconds.
Yeah, even just a little bit of that practicing in their lives. I think it's good for us. And I like that they get the opportunity to try that. I think a lot of schools are trying to incorporate this, like the school that you teach at does that somewhat.
It's an alternative school. I don't know how common it is.
I think it's getting more common for like yoga to be in schools and for teachers to do various mindfulness exercises at the beginning of the day. It certainly helps the teacher, because the kids, if they're more centered, they're going to have a better day. But yeah, anyway, those are some of our things that we do to stay fit, mentally healthy maybe. And it's not always going to be perfect, right? It's just different tools that you can have so that you feel like physically good, or the kids and us as a family can have a moment in the hecticness to just be still. And to get a 5-year-old boy to be still for 5 minutes, they're really proud of themselves, actually. It's hard, but like they're like, we did it for 5 minutes, all right. Like they feel really excited that they did it. So anyway, that's our thing. All right, the next question is unfortunately not for you. It is for me.
Oh, man.
It is, how do you fit learning French into your daily life?
Oh, yeah.
This
Definitely
question
not for me.
is from Camilla, another Fearless Fluency Club student. And my answer, Camilla, is that, first of all, I try to be realistic and I try to have fun. So what I'm capable of right now and what I want to do is speak with someone. I don't want to increase my vocabulary a lot right now, or watch a bunch of French movies. I don't really like movies anyway, but that's not something that really interests me. It might interest you. Cool. Please watch a bunch of English movies. Great idea. But for me, I try once a week to have a French lesson. So for about 30 minutes, I pay a French teacher, and she's a lovely woman from France. And we just we just talk on a video chat for 30 minutes. She asks about my life. She knows things that are going on. So she'll be like, oh, last week you did this. How did that go? Sometimes we talk about, deeper things or philosophize about things or whatever comes up. And this type of like real connection in French is amazing. She's a wonderful conversationalist, asks great questions, but it's a time for me to just show up, and I'm not responsible for anyone. It feels to me almost like working out with Lindsay. I just show up there and she tells me kind of what to do. The rest of my life, I have so many responsibilities that when I show up to my French lesson, I'm just talking and I'm learning because, she'll correct some things. She'll write down some things that I can say better. And it's 30 minutes once a week.
It's maintenance.
It's time for myself. Yeah, it's maintaining what I know. And it's also time for me because I love any conversation in French. I just feel very excited about it. So yeah, it feels like I'm taking care of myself. I'm also maintaining some French level and having a good time. And if you cannot find 30 minutes to speak with someone each week, rethink some other priorities in your life because you can absolutely do it. This is like the number one thing that I tell my students. If you want to speak confidently in English, you need 100% to speak for at least 30 minutes every week with someone else. That's accountability. It's real. It's a real conversation. You are having to respond. You're not just reading a book or watching this video. You are active and it's real life. Like you're actually communicating. I think it can be really scary at first, but it's essential. You want to improve your English, so you can do it. As a little plug, since all of these students are in my course, the Fearless Fluency Club, one of the features of this course is that students talk together. They meet together and they talk on Zoom multiple times a week. And it's student-led, so everybody understands exactly that nervous feeling, that I don't know exactly what to say all the time feeling, but they support each other. It is so amazing. So if you don't have anyone to talk to, I recommend joining the Fearless Fluency Club. Join one of the student-led speaking groups, and it will be scary the first few times because that's normal, but after a few weeks and then a few months, you'll be amazed. You'll feel so much more confident, interested, excited, and you'll have friends, which is so cool. Have friends around the world. Friends. A lot of my students have actually met up with each other around the world. That makes my heart so happy. Okay, let's go on to our next question. All right, the next question is, do Americans brush their teeth in the morning? Walter, my student, asked it a little more detailed. In general, do American people brush their teeth after or before breakfast or twice? Warmest regards. All right. I don't know about all Americans. Let's just talk about us.
I think this is pretty hit or miss. I don't think there's a standard, I remember when we lived in South Korea, after every meal, people would brush their teeth.
Yeah.
It's very, very common. And
like after lunch, everyone's in the bathroom American. Brushing their teeth.
When I was a kid, it was always brush your teeth in the morning and the evening.
Was it before or after breakfast? He would like to know.
I think it was before. It was just right after you wake up.
Okay.
I think. Even though it makes more sense after you eat, I would say. Yeah. But, nowadays, I usually brush my teeth in the evening and then sometimes in the morning. If I'm feeling like I don't want her to smell my morning breath, then I'll brush my teeth in the morning. So every day almost.
Yeah. In the morning, right when I wake up, I brush my teeth. And then I don't brush them after breakfast. And then I brush my teeth before I go to bed. But I do find myself, I would say not using toothpaste, but just like running a toothbrush over my teeth to get like any food out of my
Waving
teeth.
a toothbrush in front of your
face. Yes, magic. Mainly because I don't want bits and pieces of food stuck in my teeth. But I'm also at home a lot, so I have that option. I think if I were in an office, I probably wouldn't have a toothbrush because it feels, I remember when we were in Korea and after lunch, people were brushing their teeth in the bathroom together. It struck me that I consider brushing teeth kind of a private thing Like, it was weird that people were brushing their teeth together. Like, it's a personal, private thing. You're never, like, in your house with other people brushing your teeth. It's like in the bathroom by yourself brushing your teeth. But because people were doing it at work, I was like, this is not professional. This is not a private situation. What is this? I was really surprised. But I get it. When you eat kimchi, you need to brush your teeth. There's little red flecks of pepper always in your teeth. So I understand how that is a cultural thing. But for Americans in general, if you are an American watching this video, let us know in the comments, please. Do you brush your teeth in the morning? Do you brush them before breakfast, after breakfast, twice? Are you like an amazing teeth hygiene person, dental hygiene?
The standard is in the morning after you wake up and in the evening before you go to bed.
Yeah.
I think that's probably the most common.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments. All right, Walter, I hope that helped. Our final question for this video here on YouTube before we get to our bonus.
Oh, we don't end on the brushing teeth question?
No, is this one from YouTube. So all the other questions were from my course students. This one is from Usra Rare Moon on YouTube. And this person asks, what is a song you can listen to and never be bored?
Never be bored.
Yes.
Never be bored. Okay, well,
What
this
is
one,
it?
this is really cliche. You can probably guess it.
You gotta just tell me. I have no idea.
Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, I got two, actually.
Okay, Bohemian
Rhapsody by Queen, because it's just like the most exciting song. It's got movements, it's got a breakdown, you can headbang.
It is never boring.
And it's not boring.
I don't always want to listen to it.
It's great to sing.
But it's never boring when I listen to it.
Right. Yeah, I don't always want to hear it, but I'm never bored, And then the other song is maybe a bit of a deeper cut. So I like music from the 70s is pretty much my favorite time era overall. And I like the artist Joni Mitchell, who is a singer-songwriter, and she has a song called Coyote, which is just her an acoustic guitar, some conga drums, and a bass, a really, really good bassist in the song. And I don't think Vanessa's too into Joni Mitchell that much. Cause
it's a little too moody for me.
She's very, very moody. And I think she's brilliant, and the song has probably the best storytelling lyrics ever.
Do I know that song? Have I listened to it?
I'm sure you've heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think all her music blends in together for you.
Yeah, it all kind of sounds the same, but that's okay too.
It's person by person, yeah. So, that's probably my favorite song by her, and she's one of my favorite artists. So
cool.
How about you?
Chose one. I feel like there's a couple that I always am excited by. But one that stuck out is...
Teenage Dream. No.
That one is always exciting. Is the Simon and Garfunkel song. Guess
Sounds of Silence.
No, it's not an exciting song.
Hello, darkness, my friend.
It's like the least exciting song ever.
You come to talk to you.
Cecilia.
Oh, okay.
Cecilia, you're breaking my heart. I feel like that song is so ridiculous in the words are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like making love in the afternoon with Cecilia up in my bedroom.
Oh my.
I come back and wash my face. And when I come back to bed, someone's taken my place. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Hopefully
but
it's not too relatable.
No, but the vibe of the song, the catchiness, the foot stomping, all of that, I love it. It's so, every time I listen to it, I get excited about it. And the other night I was coming home
from like that one too.
Hanging out with some friends, and that song came on when I was in the driveway, and I was just like, Cecilia, you're breaking. I was so excited.
A driveway song is a great song.
Yeah.
It comes on at the right time. You're like, I'm not getting out of the car yet.
It was great. Yeah.
Apparently for Vanessa, it's Cecilia.
Yeah, I love that song. It's so fun. So let us know in the comments, what is a song you can always listen to and never get bored?
Wait, what if I want to add one more?
Go for it.
Okay. Listen, this is on the total other end of the spectrum.
Okay.
System of a Down.
Okay.
Almost any of their songs. Yeah. Prison Song. It'll blow you away.
Okay, it might literally blow you away.
You might be scared, actually.
Okay, turn it up really loud. You have no idea what's coming. I hope you enjoyed that off-the-cuff English conversation, and you can get that bonus conversation video. Unlock it by getting the PDF worksheet. Don't forget to do that. Okay, let's go to our second English conversation that will help you to understand English movies and TV shows without subtitles because you are taking those baby steps, getting closer and closer to understanding more complex conversations. In this conversation with my husband, Dan, we're talking about travel. We're talking about some of our past travel experiences, some of our travel dreams, some embarrassing things that we have done when we've traveled. It is an entertaining conversation, I hope. And it's something that will help you to really level up your listening skills and hopefully give you some confidence to speak yourself. Are you ready? Let's go. All right, Dan, are you ready to get started?
I'm ready. Let's talk about traveling.
Okay, well, I have a couple questions prepared, and I don't really know what we're going to say along the way. This is just a...
These are the best conversations.
Real conversation.
I think.
All right, my first question...
That's why I'm here.
Yes. My first question is, where was the first place you traveled abroad?
The first place I traveled abroad, well, the first place that felt like I traveled abroad was actually New York City.
Oh.
Because when you're in America, if you've never been to New York before, it feels like a different country because there's really no place like it. And there's just like so much diversity and action going on there. So, but that's a bit of a cheat. The real first place I traveled abroad was Costa Rica.
How old were you?
18?
Okay.
Yeah, I was 18 and I went with my school, our college that we went to where we met. And we went on like a winter trip, I guess you would call it. I don't remember what they call it.
Study trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they called it something and I was a biology major back then.
Not anymore.
And so we traveled to Costa Rica to do basically exploration of animals and biodiversity there. So we stayed in like little huts and stuff and heard the sounds of the jungle all around us. It was not very, it wasn't a very like cultural experience, I don't think.
It was a very nature-based experience.
Yeah, even though there was like a sprinkling of that every now and then. But I remember we went to like resorts and stuff. Yeah. So those places are really catering to, let's say, the Western audience.
Yeah.
So it didn't really feel as legit as some of the other travels I've done abroad later in life.
Yeah.
How about you?
My first time traveling abroad was when I studied abroad my senior year, which is my final year of college. And I studied abroad in the UK, in England, in a town called Oxford, and I studied abroad at Oxford University. It sounds very academic and like, oh, you have to be extremely smart to be able to study abroad at Oxford. But let me tell you...
That's how I felt looking at the pictures. I was like, whoa.
I mean, the city
She's in Hogwarts.
The city of Oxford, yes, they filmed a lot of Harry Potter in Oxford. And that city is so beautiful. It is fantastic. I highly recommend visiting. But the study abroad program from our college was kind of just your grades had to be okay. And you had to fill out the visa paperwork and you could go. So,
sounds like a win to me.
It was great. And this was the first time I'd ever traveled by myself and the first time I had ever left the US. So it was definitely one of those life-changing experiences where I could be independent, see the world a bit. I had some money saved, so I got to travel through Europe a bit as well.
I wasn't sure you'd ever come back.
It was wonderful. It was so lovely.
She caught the bug.
If you go to London...
The travel bug.
Yes, the travel bug. You can get the bus to Oxford. It goes like every 10 minutes from London to Oxford. And it's so easy to get there. So beautiful. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. Thank you, England. It was cool. I went one time. She lived there.
Yeah, it was great. So my next question is kind of a follow-up of that because I think there's a stereotype of Americans. I want to know, do you think it's true that most Americans don't travel abroad? Because it is definitely a position of privilege. You have to have money, you have to have connections, all of this to be able to travel abroad, no matter what country you live in. But it's kind of a stereotype, right? Americans don't travel to other countries.
Yeah, it's a stereotype, and I think it's generally true. Yeah, I mean, America's just so big, And people who live here tend to be like, we have a large rural population, I would say, like people who just live in their small towns and they never leave. Or like, even like a bigger city I used to live in, Pittsburgh, is a very like insular city. Like the people live there, they have their sports teams, they love it. This is what we do. This is Pittsburgh. We're Pittsburghers for life. You know, so a lot of cities are like that as well.
Yeah, my aunt and uncle live in Pittsburgh. And until a few years ago, they had never left the city of Pittsburgh.
Even the state.
Even the city of Pittsburgh.
Oh,
they had never left the city of Pittsburgh until a couple years ago. And ironically, the reason they left Pittsburgh was to go watch some Pittsburgh sports games in other cities. But I think that is kind
motivation.
Of the stereotype. But I did do a little research.
Oh, you got numbers.
The general stat that I found was that as of 2023, 52% of Americans have passports.
Okay.
So the majority
That's
of
more
people
than I'd
do.
expect.
And it said that it's risen a lot. It said it was only 5%
Are
in
they going
1990.
to Canada?
That's the question.
Canada doesn't count.
If you asked a random person on the street in the US, have you been to another country? Not in a big city, just in a small city. If they say yes, I kind of guarantee, I might even bet $50 that they would say, oh yeah, I've been to another country. I've been to Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the stereotypical place.
You know, I'm thinking more about it though, and there's a lot of like border crossings though with Mexico. So there's like a lot of people who are probably like citizens who have family back in Mexico. That probably happens quite a bit.
I'd imagine the
maybe
majority
even
live
more.
on the borders.
Yeah, maybe even more than Canada.
Yeah, maybe so. But I think it's...
Just a guess.
When I first traveled abroad, I got responses from other people in my life, like, are you sure you want to do that? You're going to go alone to England? That's not safe. They were really concerned. Why would you do that? And I was definitely gung-ho, like, I'm going to do this. This is going to be great. And certainly when you've traveled abroad and come back home, those arguments just sound really silly. Like most places, a lot of places in the world are extremely safe and totally fine to travel to. And to hear from people around me, oh, you shouldn't do that. Why would you do that? It was really shocking.
Yeah, stuff
and
sounds
pretty
really
common.
Stuff sounds scary to Americans, like subway travel. If you're from regular middle America, they're like, oh, he's going underground and ride on a train.
Yeah. I think some people would like to travel, like would like to go to Paris or would like to go to London. These kind of stereotypical places that appeal to Americans.
Selfie by the Eiffel Tower.
Yes, those type of high tourist destinations. But it is true, we don't have much vacation time in the U.S. compared to Europe, for example.
Oh.
And it's so expensive. If you're in France and you want to go to Italy, so easy, so cheap, no problem.
Oh, you mean it's expensive for us to travel?
Yeah, if an American wants to go to Rome, it is extremely expensive.
Far away.
Yeah, it's far. You have to have a lot of vacation time. It's expensive. I understand. It's a cultural thing too, like that fear we were talking about of the unknown. If you have never known anyone who has left the U.S., like the people who were talking to me, of course you would think it was scary and why would you do that? But the more people you know who have traveled, the less scary it is, the more normal it is.
Yeah, and I bet it's changing too, just based on the interconnectedness of the world. People
For sure.
getting new ideas and wanting to travel around.
For sure, for
Makes
sure.
sense.
All right, you ready for my next question?
Yes.
It's getting a little bit embarrassing with the next question.
Oh dear.
All right, I want to know, what is a cultural mistake that you've made while you were abroad?
How much time do we have? Probably more than I know, because I'm one of those people who will just like miss the cultural mistake and I'll be like, what? I guess this was one of those times, right? So in France, when we worked on some farms, willing workers on organic farms, woofing is what we did.
For a couple months.
For a little bit. And so we were on this farm, and this lady who was kind of running the program, I don't speak any French. You speak a lot of French. So she comes up, like walks up towards me to give me the
Bisou.
bisou.
So like a little kiss on your cheek as
Yeah.
a greeting.
But, I don't know what that is, and that's kind of awkward to me. So she's just kind of like walking towards me to
Big
do this.
smile. Good morning.
And I think I probably did like a little wave, like, hi. But then like I went around her. And so apparently she told you about this later, like, what's wrong with Dan?
Yeah, she came up to me later and was like, "Is Dan okay? Is he sick?" Like she didn't understand why
That's it.
Dan didn't give her the bisou in the morning, because in France it's common.
You do this like,
Yeah, you don't even need
each
to
cheek.
put your lips, you just put your cheek to their cheek. And for me, when I first lived in France, this was before our experience in France, that was definitely a culture shock for me. Because for Americans, your face
never put your face
is
near
so
anybody.
intimate. You don't get near my face unless you're my husband. Like, this is very intimate. And
We do this.
we sometimes
Or
give
this.
hugs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sometimes give hugs, but when
Side hugs.
I remember one time I went to a wedding in France, and in the room, it was everyone from my French host family. It was like in a little, like official office. It was just kind of a small room where they were signing the documents. And I was introduced to every person, like 30 people in the room, a bisou to every single person. Mwah, 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 to each person. I just remember thinking, I cannot imagine this happening
It's very
in the US.
American too. The French, they're mad.
That's a stereotype. And for me, I got used to it because it was so common just to give the bisou that it becomes second nature almost. I remember another time that I made a mistake. I think I've shared this with my students before, but when we were in Korea, I feel like these cultural mistakes happen when you're living in a place because you're more aware of what should happen. When you just travel for like a couple days,
You're not
you don't
in
know.
tourist destinations as much either.
Yeah, I remember in Korea, I was ordering some kimbap or something, like a little rice roll at this small little restaurant. And it was our first or second week in Korea. And I knew a couple words. Like I knew America is miguk and American is miguk saram. And a lot of people asked us, where are you from? Where are you from? That was a really common question when you look different than the other people in the country. So a lot of people asked us, where are you from? Where are you from? And I knew the word where in Korean. So when I walked into the restaurant and I ordered kimbap to go,
I don't remember this.
you weren't there.
Oh, okay.
The lady at the restaurant asked me a question that started with where. And I assumed that she was asking, where are you from? But instead, she was asking, where do you want it delivered to? And because it was a cultural thing that you don't wait there to get the food at that restaurant. They will deliver it to you because we just worked in the next building. And she was expecting that they would just deliver it to me. So when she said, where... and the rest of her question, I said, Miguk, America. And she looked at me like, you want me to deliver this food to America? What? And then I tried to understand, what is she talking about? And I just stayed and waited until the food was cooked. And then I took it with me. But later I realized, oh, she thought I was saying I wanted the food delivered in America.
Wasn't asking that question. That's funny.
Yeah.
That reminds me of when we went to a restaurant in Korea. I don't know if this counts, but you don't really eat stuff with forks and knives, but we definitely asked for forks and knives for something. I don't remember what it was, but that's definitely a classic American faux pas to be like, hey, can I have a fork and a knife over here?
Especially if it's like an Asian country that uses chopsticks. I must say, though, on our behalf, we got really good at using chopsticks.
Sure.
I can use them, no problem.
Although they would make fun of the way I held it, apparently. I have a claw grip, apparently.
Your little hands when you do
Yeah. My little hands?
Because you were like this when you hold the chopsticks.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, the last and fourth question is this. What were some times that you were surprised by something cultural in another country? This is a huge question. There's probably millions of times.
This is my favorite part about traveling because it's just kind of like constant surprises all the time. It's really fun and interesting. for people like us.
Yeah.
I would say in South Korea, because we lived there, I have the most experience there. So many things surprised me about that country, but one thing that really just jumps to mind from an American perspective is just the safety of the cities there. Almost everything is a city compared to America. That's another surprise, right? It's like some people are rural, but most people live in the city and in high-rise towers and stuff.
Yeah.
So just walking around, especially at night, you would just be going down dark alleys or into the park at night. And in America, you just would never do that because people, whether it's true or not, people have it associated with danger, like walking into a dark alley at night. I just remember like walking in one and being like, should I be a little nervous? And then like a little kid pops out a door and is like, hey. It's like, oh. Or to see like somebody like just taking a nap with their phone sitting next to them, like no big deal. Or we're in the park, we're talking with our friends, we're drinking beer in the park. Can't do that here usually.
I remember one time we went to the bank and our Korean coworker went with us to help translate. And we had a bunch of cash because we'd just gotten out cash for some reason. And we were trying to figure out how to get back to somewhere. And she's like, oh, we can cut down this street. And it was this little dark alley. And I was like, we just have all this cash. We just came from the bank. Why would we go down this alley?
We're going to get mugged.
And it was totally fine.
Yeah.
It's just so shocking how safe it is.
It's not even that like America is that dangerous, but it is more dangerous than a place like South Korea. Like it just is.
Yeah.
So you just have built in, especially in cities, because for whatever reason, the way American cities are organized or lack thereof, there's just a lot more crime in the city regions. But people in South Korea, like everybody lives in the city. This is our home. Like we're living in it all the time and it's a lot safer. It's a totally different vibe. One I actually prefer. I think America actually stinks at doing cities. We could get a lot better at doing that and learn a thing or two. That's just my opinion. But yeah, that was really surprising to me.
Yeah, I have a good safety anecdote where my sister, she lived in South Korea too for a period of time, but she didn't move there straight from the US. She was living in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, and then she moved to South Korea. And she told me the first day or or two that she was in Korea, she was on the bus and everyone was looking at their phones. And when she walked on the bus and she saw that everyone had a phone, she was scared. She went and sat away from everybody who had a phone by herself because
their phones out.
She was certain that someone was going to come on the bus, grab their phones, and do something violent. Because where she had been living in Buenos Aires, I don't know what it's like now.
Buenos Aires is worse?
I don't know what it's like now in Buenos Aires. Maybe not everywhere there. But she was so used to never wearing earrings or necklaces or her phone in public.
Somebody did like rip jewelry off her there, right?
Yeah, she got
Sorry, Buenos Aires, if, this is just what we've heard.
But that was her experience. So when she moved to Korea, it was shocking. The safety issue was shocking for her too. And you just get used to it after a period of time. But something that also surprised me, I wrote down a little...
On a different note.
Yes, a little idea here too, is that I was surprised how many people in various countries that we've lived in thought it was cool that we were American. I felt embarrassed by that because when
not France though, right?
It depends because when I was living in France as a nanny, an au pair for a year, and this scenario happened so many times where I was with my friends who were Austrian, German, Australian, Swedish, and British. And the group of us girls would go everywhere together. We did so many things. It was a wonderful time. And when we met people, they would ask, where are you from? And everyone would say where they were from. And when I said I was from the US, you could tell they just stopped and would say, oh, an American. Oh, and they would ask me questions like, is it true this? Is it true this? And
I guess it's a little more unusual.
I don't know. I think there was something, because there are Americans that travel, but I don't know. I felt so embarrassed by that because
Maybe your age.
I wasn't cooler than my friends. I'm just a normal person.
Well,
You're a little biased here. But it felt so weird to stop the conversation for something like that, especially when my friends are super cool. Why not ask them about their countries? And sometimes I said I was from Canada just to stop those
I
questions.
guess you didn't have the Euro vibe.
Maybe.
Europe is not one country at all, even close to it. But, it's still more common maybe to be like, hey, I guess they were taking like gap years too, right? A lot of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I
Maybe
don't know.
that's more of a
It
common
surprised
trend.
me that was something, at least at that time, which was 15 years ago now almost? That was cool.
Wow.
So maybe it's changed a lot because there's more real Americans out there in the world, so we're less cool, I guess. One other thing I wanted
I know.
to...
Should we say more? Because you could talk about this forever.
I did have one other thing that I wanted to say.
We'll say one more, both.
Was surprising, something cultural that was surprising, was when we were teaching abroad in Korea. A lot of our family and friends said stuff to us like, oh, aren't Koreans really good at education? Their test scores are always the highest, like Chinese, Japanese, and Korean test scores. It's kind of like a household knowledge in the US that especially East Asian students are really smart. Like they get really high test scores. And so because we were teaching in a school there, our family and friends often asked us, like, is it true? What's that like? And
Yes.
yeah.
Because they're worked to the bone.
That's the balance that it shocked me. Yes, Korean students get great test scores, all of this, but what's the cost? We were teaching 7, 8, and 9-year-olds at 7 p.m., 8 p.m. at night. And that was so normal. For me, my heart broke for those kids. You don't need to be in here all day studying.
They went from school to school to homework to a little bit of sleep to school to homework to a little bit of sleep.
Yeah, so
over and over again.
What's the cost? I think that was something I loved living in Korea, and it was wonderful. But at that
Korean
job,
people love you.
Yes, it was so great.
But this structure,
I think that
a little iffy for the kids.
Yeah, for people like us who
mental health too, it shows.
Yeah, really cared about the mental health of the kids and just other people, not just children. But it was really hard to continue in that job specifically where we were participating in that and we were seeing that every day. I think our best times with the students that we taught in Korea was when we took them outside the classroom. Mm-hmm. We had a couple parties in the park, pizza parties in the park, or we took the kids to an amusement park, or we went to the zoo with the kids. Mm-hmm. They were using English all day, and it was no problem. They were having a great time, and I felt like, they can be kids. They can learn English, but also be kids and have fun. And those are some of the most precious memories to me, I think, being in Korea.
Okay, I got one more thing.
Okay.
So what surprised me about traveling abroad is, this is a little bit connected to what we've been talking about, but just how easy it is to travel everywhere. So many other countries just have more buses, more trains, more subways, more ways to get around, and also just like infrastructure to walk places safely. Like in America, there's lots of places that they design only for cars, and you can't, like, maybe you could walk there, but nobody in their right mind wants to. And so that's just like all over the place here. But especially a place like South Korea, it's just so easy to get everywhere. It's in the entire country. Like we would take, a trip from the city we were in to the beach, and they're very easy to take just different sources of transportation to get there without a car.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty common in Europe too. You can take a train, and we haven't visited everywhere in the world. Obviously, there's big gaps in our experience, like South America, Africa, Southeast Asia. We haven't been to a lot of those places, but someday. But I think to this point, I'm curious for those of you watching this, if you have visited the US and you have visited a place that was not New York City, not LA, not San Francisco, how did you get around? Did you rent a car? If you went to go visit, I don't know, Houston, Texas, how did you get around? Did you have to rent a car? Did you take a bus? I'm very curious what international travelers to the US who visit not big cities, what do you do? Maybe you rent a car. I mean, that's a very possible thing to do.
Pretty much how you got to do it.
You got to do it like
places.
that. Yeah. Well, great work listening to those real life English conversations. Now that you've listened to my solo lessons and now you've listened to some lessons with one other person, you're ready to level up. I challenge you to try to watch a TV show that you've already watched in English. Watch it again in English without subtitles. See how you do and let me know in the comments. And don't forget to download the free PDF worksheet, which includes the bonus conversation lesson that you can unlock simply by downloading the PDF worksheet. Click on the link in the description, enter your name and email address, and voila, just like that, the PDF worksheet and bonus conversation lesson will land in your email inbox. It is my gift to you. Enjoy. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me this year. I hope that we will have another wonderful year leveling up your English skills next year. And I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye. But wait, do you want more? I recommend watching this video next. These are the most popular vocabulary lessons from 2025. You're not gonna wanna miss them. Over 500,000 people have studied these English lessons. Don't miss out. Go check it out. I'll see you there.